Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Your voice is not coming, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, your voice is coming, bro.
Okay.
But probably Mukundlila Prabhu's voice is not coming.
Okay, is it audible now? Yeah,
Yes, Prabhuji.
I think it's okay. So in summary, till now we saw how the Lord is telling the material world is a place of misery. So now one can have a doubt, okay, can I go to higher planets? Then it is being said that, okay, higher planets, Brahma's one day, our 1000 ages, Brahma's one day, that is Brahma's night. So we become manifest in Brahma's day and we become unmanifest in Brahma's night. This manifestation and manifestation is going on. What is the use? What is the use? Then the Lord is explaining that further transcendental to this is the eternal abode, wherein I having gone once, one never falls down. That is my spiritual abode, the Lord is saying. Nah, that is my spiritual abode. The only one who is dedicated to me, the Lord is telling in devotion, one who practices bhakti is sure to come to me. Srila Prabhupada in the purport starts explaining about the same transition. So, how to attain the supreme? The first aspect which one has to realize is this material world is a place of misery. Any endeavor in this material world is always going to lead to enhancement of misery. So, this material world is a gone place. And therefore, Prabhupada would say that this material world is not a place for a gentleman to stay. It's not worth, it's not fit for a gentleman to stay. It's not a place fit for a gentleman to stay. Now, see, just like a collapsing building, when a building is already about to collapse, it's just collapsing, it's just about to collapse. Any endeavor to set it right is only going to enhance its collapse. There's only one thing which will work out at that point: quit as soon as possible. Quit. Similarly, the material world is also like that. The material world is a place of misery. Any endeavors in this world simply increases the misery. Yeah. By endeavors, we mean material endeavors. Any material endeavors on the material plane is simply going to enhance the misery. Nothing else is going to happen. So this is the first aspect which has to be realized. So what is the use then of working in this material world? This is the first principle. One has to understand what is the use of working in this material world where any endeavor is simply going to increase the problem. See, just like a diseased person, as long as the diseased person does not go to an authorized doctor, whatever this diseased person does to help out oneself is only going to aggravate the disease. So the person doesn't understand what is to be done. And one simply tries to do some catch up, patch up endeavor, that endeavor will simply aggravate the problem. Like this aspect is there, na? Person is on, what is that? Person is on stroke, then person should not drink water, something like that. No? Somebody is having head injury and you're going unconscious, should not be given water, like that. So that can go into the lungs actually. So the person is sometimes we see that I don't know, my my Mosi also, she had something, she had some pain or something, they gave her water, it got aggravated. So, so the point is, unless one goes to a proper doctor, any endeavors are not going to help out. And therefore, unless one actually uh, aims to attain the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, no endeavors in this material world can help us. So then the question is, then why to do endeavors of this material world? Yes, this is intelligence. Like Prabhupada was talking about one time about the miseries which are involved in sex life. No, Prabhupada says, legitimate or illegitimate, it leads to so much misery and complications. No? Licit or illicit, bada dukha bhaja, Panduyane iva dukha dukkam. So then one of the disciples said, Prabhupada, then why to marry? Prabhupada said, yes, that is intelligence. Why to marry then? That is intelligence. No, Prabhupada said that is intelligence. So why to get lost and drowned in the in this whirlpool of material entanglements? So now the Lord is explaining here that material world is miserable. There is no point in endeavoring. The intelligence lies in, okay, why to do material endeavors then? When there is no gain, why to endeavor? Why to waste one's time? And that is the point. The sooner we realize this, the more footing we can get in spiritual life. So as a sadhaka, we should not do material endeavors because material endeavors are futile. It will only increase the misery. No, it will only increase the misery. Sense gratification only increases the misery. How? Very simple. Because sense gratification increases attachment, attachment increases expectation. And then that small flickering enjoyment which one is getting is overshadowed because of the great expectation. And there is extreme misery because of attachment and addiction. In the long run also, in due course of time, on the immediate scale also. And therefore, it is said, mode of passion, nectar in the beginning, poison as it goes. Poison as it goes on. I'm mode of passion. The sense gratification is like that. So there is no use. Now one may say, no, but the point is there is, the point which is explained is that there are gradations of misery. If we go to lower misery, we can be a little peaceful. Yes, there are gradations of misery. In the higher planet, the misery quotient is a little less. And then the Lord is telling, what is the use? One will glide down again. And Prabhupada is picking up that point. One will glide down again. Prabhupada is saying, Chandogya Upanishad is mentioning that how one can go to Brahmaloka. But if one simply goes to Brahmaloka and one is simply and one is simply clicking selfies and YouTube videos, one is making, one will come back. One has to come back again. Unless one cultivates Krishna consciousness, Prabhupada is saying. Unless one cultivates Krishna consciousness. And this is what, unless one cultivates Krishna consciousness in the higher planetary system. So if one has to cultivate Krishna consciousness, why not cultivate on the earth? Then why to go to Brahmaloka? Because the atmosphere in earth is most conducive for fervent practice of Krishna consciousness. Whereas Brahmaloka may not be so conducive because the misery quotient is very less. The person may be complacent. The Swarga is not at all conducive because the sense gratification is too much. One may get intoxicated. Although it's pious sense gratification, it's not prohibited sense gratification, but it is still sense gratification. So then what is the use? So if one does not cultivate Krishna consciousness, then going to Brahmaloka, one has to come back again. That means all that endeavor will be reduced to zero. So much endeavor reduced to zero. What is the use? Then why to endeavor? That's intelligence. And if one has to cultivate Krishna consciousness going to Brahmaloka, then why pay so much price going to Brahmaloka? Better cultivate Krishna consciousness here only and straight go back to Godhead. That'll be easier, much easier. But the amount of energy needed to go to Brahmaloka, that much energy one can go back to Godhead. So why pay double the price then? And go on a ground where it is going to be a little more tougher. To get speed will be a little more tougher. But on the earth, the speed is very conducive for fervent practice of Krishna consciousness. So this section is appealing to our intelligence. This section, this instruction of the Lord is shaking us, and the Lord is telling Harish, the Lord is shaking us up, and the Lord is telling, wake up, where you are endeavoring on a futile ground. Why are you endeavoring on a futile? Why not endeavor on a transcendental ground? Yes, question. No, it is very difficult. It is very difficult. So the question is that okay, one can go to Swarga and keep on doing pious activities and stay forever in Swarga. What is the problem? First of all, Swarga also miseries are there. Maharajendra is always in anxiety. Where is he happy? He's having so much sense gratification. Always he's in anxiety. He's always stressed out. He's always having a general anxiety disorder. No? And when Maharajendra is like that, what to say of the inhabitant of Swarga? He'll be having so much anxiety. That is first thing. Second thing is, so what is the use of going there? Second thing is, the price is very high. The price is so high that one will not be able to afford it. Because to afford it, the amount of piety which is required, and the atmosphere is not at all conducive for piety. So the price is so high, nobody will be able to afford it. No, like that. That's the point. So one may go for, so it's like this. So it's just like saying that, okay, it's just like saying that, okay, can one stay in America on Indian currency? Earn in India and stay in America? Impossible. You know, impossible. Indian currency, the moment you take it to America, it becomes 180, 1 by 80, 80 rupees become 1 rupee, 8 crore become 10 lakhs, 8 crore become 10 lakhs. So it's so small. So if one is earning in India, can one actually afford, Indian currency, So that is the point, that if one is earning in India, one cannot stay in US. Similarly, the why now, so in this analogy of earning, the point is what, that performing bhakti or piety on earth is like gaining in US currency, is like income in US currency, and heavenly planets income is in Indian currency, like that. So heavenly planet enjoyment is more, but the income is in Indian currency. Why? Because the heavenly planet is not at all conducive, for spiritual life. So in that hard ground, to gain that much of piety which is required, the price tag which is required to stay in heavenly planets, will be very tough. The ground is rough. So, and the prices are still another same, price is still the same. So one will not be able to continue. It will be very difficult. Secondly, thirdly, this is just like saying, that like some people, some people say that okay, I will drinking is very good. Some people say like that. They say drinking is very good. Why drinking very good? They say no, drinking gives the warmth and all that in the body and all. Just take one peg a day. Just take 2 pegs a day. No. So what is the now? Is this logic good? No, they prophesy like that. This logic is not at all going to work. Why? Because if you take one peg, you cannot stop taking the next peg. If you take 2 pegs, you cannot stop taking the third peg. You cannot stop finishing the whole bottle. And then one is intoxicated. Like that. So this way, it is going to be. So then going to heavenly place for sense gratification, one will lose track of piety, because to attain piety, one has to exercise sense control. Sense indulgence and piety cannot go together, because sense indulgence leads to that kind of intoxication that piety cannot take place. Piety requires sense control, mind control. Impossible. Impossible. So why to do futile endeavors? That is the Lord's appeal. Why to do futile endeavors? Endeavors which have no worth. Futile endeavors. Endeavors which don't have any worth. That's what the Lord is explaining here. Now let's read the purport of 17. A human calculation, 1,000 ages taken together form the duration of Brahma's one day, and such also is the duration of his night. The duration of the material universe is limited. It is manifested in cycles of kalpas. A kalpa is a day of Brahma. One day of Brahma consists of 1,000 cycles. 4 yugas means 4 lakh 32 into 10, 43 lakhs. Yeah, 20,000, 43 lakhs 20,000 years. So that is one cycle of 4 yugas, thousands of cycles. Satya, Treta, Dwapar, Kali. The cycle of Satya is characterized by virtue, wisdom, and religion. There being practically no ignorance and vice. And that yuga lasts for 17 lakh 28,000 years. In the Treta Yuga, yeah, vice is introduced in Treta. This yuga lasts for 12 lakh 96,000 years. Religion, vice is increasing. This yuga lasts for 8 lakh 64,000 years. And finally, in Kali Yuga, the one which we are experiencing over the past 5,000 years, there is an abundance of strife, ignorance, religion, and vice. True virtue being practically non-existent, and this yuga lasts for 4,32,000 years. In Kali Yuga, vice increases to such a point. So 3 times, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. So 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 is 10. Now, so 10 times Kali Yuga's duration is the Yuga cycle. In Kali Yuga, vice increases to such a point that at the termination of the Yuga, the Supreme Lord himself appears as the Kalki avatar, vanquishes the demons, saves the devotees, and commences another Satya Yuga. Then the process is set rolling again. The 4 yugas rotating 1,000 times comprise a day of Brahma. And the same number comprise one night. Brahma lives 100 of such years and then dies. These 100 years by earth calculations total to 311 trillion 40 billion earth years. By these calculations, the life of Brahma seems fantastic and interminable, but from the viewpoint of eternity, it is as brief as lightning flash. In the costal ocean, there are innumerable Brahmas rising and disappearing like bubbles in the Atlantic. Brahma and his creation are all part of the material universe, and therefore they are in constant flux. In the material universe, Not even Brahma is free from the process of birth, old age, disease, and death. Brahma, however, is directly engaged in the service of the Supreme Lord in the management of the universe. Therefore, he at once attains liberation. Elevated sannyasis are promoted to Brahma's particular planet, Brahmaloka, which is the highest planet in the material universe and which survives all the heavenly planets in the upper strata of the planetary system. But in the due course, Brahma and all the inhabitants of Brahmaloka are subject to death according to the law of material nature. So this is a relativity of time which is being explained. Next 18. At the beginning of Brahma's day, all the living entities become manifest from the unmanifest state. And thereafter, when the night falls, they are merged into unmanifest again. So that means that in one cycle, the living entities are getting for 43 lakhs 20,000 years to perfect their lives. After that, for equal amount of time, they are put into an unmanifest state. That means they cannot do any endeavors, positive or negative. They are all in the state of sushupti. And then after another 43 lakhs 20,000 years, they'll get opportunity for another 43 lakh 20,000 years to perfect their lives. And after that, again there is ceasefire. So because Brahmaji, whenever Brahmaji's night comes, there is no, everything is destroyed. And so Brahma's night, everything is destroyed. Bhu, Bhuva, Swaraga, all three are destroyed. What remains is Maharloka, Janaloka and Brahmaloka, Tapaloka and Brahmaloka. Now, after every night, no, yes, 1,000 cycle of yugas. Into 1,000, yes, Brahma's day, into 1,000, correct, into 1,000. For 3 lakhs into 1,000, yeah. Yeah, 43 lakhs, 430 crores, 432 crores. That way, 432 crore years are given, and then 432 crore years there is no activity. Then again 432 crore years are given, and 432 crore years is gone. So this is there. Other times the transmigrations are going on. So at this time the transmigrations do stop. Now, at this time the transmigrations stop actually. So this is so this is that Brahma's every day has a pralay, is accompanied by a pralay. Whereas Brahma's every day there is a pralay, every night. So the next day again Brahma has to construct again. He forgets. So he does money program chants and Lord comes and gives him instructions. So he constructs. So that's why so our universe is said Brahmaji is around mid-age, 50 years or over. Our Brahmaji is around mid-age, present Brahma. So half is gone. Yes, mid-age. Mid-age. Day is every day. Day is every day. Yes. So he's 50. Yes. So Bhu Bhuva Swaha, they are lit by the sun. And planets beyond that are lit by the moon. Yeah. That's so the planets beyond that are lit by the moon, not the sun. So the sun is in Bhu Bhuva Swaha, these three places. Beyond that, it's lit by the moon. Now. So, so the point is that the moon, which Bhagavatam is referring, what Bhagavatam is referring to as moon and what we refer to as moon, there is a mismatch there. One time Prabhupada said probably we are referring to Rahu, as moon. so, so what we are referring to as moon is probably something else. But therefore we only see reflection from there. sun's reflection from there, you know. But actually, the moon, which Bhagavatam is referring to, is a source of light. It's a cold source of light. But sun is a hot source of light. It's a cold source of light. It's cool, cool fire or cool light. We don't have any conception of cool light, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So either this is not that moon which Bhagavatam is referring, or our people are seeing this as moon but going somewhere else. So mostly they are seeing this as moon and going somewhere else. That's what Prabhupada said. They're going to Rahu. Prabhupada said that. So the moon is a light source. Uh, the moon is a light source. So that is lit. And beyond that is lit by the effulgence from the Lord's rays. The beyond the Brahmanda, beyond the. So one may say, oh, wonderful, long time. A long time. Now, there is nothing to be excited for a long time. Why? Because, no, short time or long time, it does not matter. If one cannot do it in a short period of time, one cannot do it in a long period of time. So time does not matter. If one is not oriented, one will never be oriented. So that is the point. Time does not matter. Short time or long time, that does not matter. So Acharyas exemplify this principle. See, just like, say for example, I have seen sometimes before the exam, there are 5 days holidays. All of a sudden, something happened in the institute, there are 5 days holidays. That won't affect the grades of anybody. Sometimes there is an exam after alternate days. Still, there are people who will fail. Still, those who want to get, those who need to get, those who will get 9 point will still get 9 point. Sometimes those who will fail will still fail, even if there is alternate day holiday. Sometimes there is exam every day. Still, those who will get 9 point will get 9 point, and those who will fail will still fail. Sometimes there are 2 exams every day. Still, those who will get, who are supposed to get 9 point will get 9. In Pune, there used to be 1 month holidays before the exams, and still there are people who will fail. Manmeshari, 1 month. If 1 month holiday is there and you study 1 month, IIT studies, if you do 1 month IIT studies 8 hours a day, then 6 hours a day, you will get 12 point out of 10. Is it not? Everybody will get 12 point out of 10, but they would still fail. Still they are getting 5.6.7. So that means what? Giving more time does not matter. Giving more time doesn't matter. So therefore, one should not be excited by this that okay, let me go to heavenly planets. So much time is there. If we cannot do Krishna consciousness now and today, we will never be able to do it. That's the verdict of the Shastras. Yes. Okay, so the question is, okay, do Brahma Loka residents also experience the same time that we experience? So So then, as such, there is no gain. As such, there is no gain. Yeah. So, we cannot say same, but it is of the similar effect. Why? Because intoxication is much more the heavenly planets. So we get tired, you know. Our movies are 2 hours, 3 hours because we get tired after that. No, capacity is not so much. They have capacity. They don't get tired. So it can go on for long. So Brahmaloka movies maybe, from from their point of view, it will not be 3 hours. Or it is 3 hours. Those 3 hours are very long from our point of view. Those 3 hours are absolute scale also very long. It's not exact 3 hours as ours. Means our experiential 3 hours and their experiential 3 hours are more. Their experiential 3 hours is a longer period, but they have capacity, so they remain intoxicated. So, in effect, it's pretty much the same. Yes, on the absolute scale, they have more time than us. Not only relativity, the absolute scale, they have more time. If they speed up their bhakti practice, they have a lot of time. You know? But like see Dhruv Maharaj in Satyaloka, with 100,000 years life. In 6 months, he attained Krishna. After that, he is just doing paropkara. Dhruv Maharaj, 6 months he attained Krishna, 100,000 years of life, 36,000 years he ruled as a king. And then he went to Dhruvaloka. 36,000 years he was king, 36,000 years. It's a big period. So 6 months only he attained back to Godhead. So that was the. But that kind of fervor will not come in the heavenly planets. Because the intoxication is huge. Like we take a nap, 1 hour we get up. Brahmaloka won't be like that. A lot of time will pass by. The intoxication is much more. So in principle, it doesn't matter. But on the absolute scale, yes, they have more time. On the absolute scale, yes, they have more time. Like Guru Maharaj, he had more time. Lord Ramachandra, he had so much time. Vanvas was only 14 years, 10,000 years life. Trita. Vanvas is only 14 years. Life is 10,000 years. So, Vanvas short period that means. It was only 14 years. Short period. Means short, not in the, according to their thing, is very short. But 14 years means 14 years. Experience is 14 years only. Like that. It's a long period of time because 10,000 years like that. So that way. I'm not very sure. It's 14 years of their 100 years life or it is 14 years of their 10,000 years life. I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about that. There can be a question there. It's 14 years of their 10,000 years life or it's 14 years of the Lord Ram's 100 years. So that I'm not sure. We may have to check that up. But the point is, yes, absolute scale in higher planets, there is more time. But because the intoxication is also very huge and the capacity of a sense gratification is also very huge, it's pious sense gratification, so there are no disturbances also. So one may just drift for a long time. Therefore, the spiritual fervor does not come. Dhruv Maharaj is Satya Yuga. Satya Yuga. He was in Satya Yuga. All the Dashavatars, do they appear every cycle? Probably yes. Most likely yes. They appear every cycle. Every Divya Yuga, cycle of 4. Every Divi Yuga, they appear. So the Lord is concerned about us. So the Lord is coming again and again and again. The Lord is coming again and again and again to check what's happening. Just like a mother, she will do some work, again and again she will check back. The Lord is like a mother, again and again He comes to check. The Lord is so merciful. So therefore, extra time is of no use. Extra time is of no use. And therefore, the Acharyas have exemplified this, and therefore many of the Acharyas, they did not live long. So long life is of no use. Shankaracharya did not live long. And Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lived only 44, 48. 48. Shankaracharya lived 30 something, you know. So he didn't live long also. Long life, no use. Better have a quality life, you know. 619. Again and again, when Brahma's day arrives, all the living entities come into being, and with the arrival of Brahma's night, they are helplessly annihilated. The less intelligent who try to remain within this material world may be elevated to higher planets, and then again must come down to this planet Earth. During the daytime of Brahma, they can exhibit their activities on the higher and lower planets within this material world, but with the coming of Brahma's night, they are all annihilated. In the day, they receive various bodies for material activities, and at the night, they no longer have bodies but remain compact in the body of Vishnu. Then again, they are manifest at the arrival of Brahma's day. Bhutva Bhutva Kaliyate. During the day, they become manifest, and at night, they are annihilated again. Ultimately, when Brahma's life is finished, they are all annihilated and remain unmanifest for millions and millions of years. And when Brahma is born again in another millennium, they are again manifest. In this way, they are captivated by the spell of the material world. But those intelligent persons who take to Krishna consciousness use the human life fully in devotional service of the Lord, chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Thus they transfer themselves, even in this life, to the spiritual planet of Krishna and become eternally blissful there, not being subject to such rebirths. But this is very beautiful because here we are seeing, oh, that how we are under that spell. So that is why going to heavenly planets is a very bad idea. Why? Because heavenly planets, so much time will get wasted. One will really have very less time. One will really have very less time. That is why one will really have very less time. Because heavenly planet time is going slow, intoxication is more. So spiritual advancement is also, there's not favorable enough. And a lot of time will go. Because if the Brahma's day passes, Brahma's day gets finished, then for the whole night of Brahmaji, 432 crore years one has to wait. Can't do anything. Can't do anything. In that state, one cannot chant Hare Krishna. Whatever you have to chant, you have to chant during Brahma's day. So while Brahma's day is going on, it is while Brahma's day is going on, we have to make haste. So therefore, if one goes to heavenly planets, takes a selfie and comes back, Brahma's day will be passing by. Time will be less. Time will be less. And what if one remains there? Oh, no, very unfortunate. No? Very unfortunate. What if one remains there? No? So now where we are in Brahma's day, which Manu is going on right now? Seventh Manu. So it's past afternoon now already. You have to understand, it's past afternoon now already. If it is the seventh Manu, it's past afternoon. It's 14 Manus one day. If it is the seventh Manu going on, already lunch ले लिया है ब्रह्मा जी, है ना? The evening snacks or फिर, Brahmaji will go for rest. No, Brahmaji takes prasad early. So 7 o'clock he'll go for rest. 8 o'clock, already lunchtime is over. So we have to make haste actually, and therefore you see, going to heavenly planet is a curse in one sense. Is that going to heavenly planet is a curse? So the curse is there actually. So that's why one should not aim for anything less than back to Godhead. Because, and what if one goes to Brahmaloka? Like this, the time will go away. Anyways, if one reaches Brahmaloka, then one doesn't have the daily calculation. One will not come under the daily calculation. Till Swarga, the daily calculation works. So, yeah, because the day will go away, one will still remain in Brahmaloka because one is in Brahmaloka. But Brahma's life will pass like this. Then it will be finished, is it not? So ultimately, there is no use. Therefore, one has to aim for something which is beyond this 14 planetary systems. There is no use doing makeshift. Why are we wasting our lives doing makeshift? Makeshift patch-up solution. Yeah, stopgap patch-up solutions. So this is patch-up. We should not remain patch-up. So don't look for patch-up. Look for, rather one should be ready for catch-up. Already we are late. Therefore, Krishna consciousness is an emergency. Krishna consciousness cannot wait. No, Krishna consciousness cannot wait. So this spell of the material world now captivates everyone. So therefore, you see how deadly metal energy is. Oh, even if one has so much of a life, metal energy, the time also goes slow. So one is more intoxicated. The time is there more, but it's going slow. One is more intoxicated. So in effect, it's the same. In effect, it's the same. On the absolute scale, there is more time, but because the intoxication is more, in effect, it's the same. Because uh, so it's like that. Like say for example, if a person is in addiction in a material world, in the earth, a person falls into addiction, say drug addiction, like that. In 2 years, one will end up into hospital. And before 2 years only, one will end up in messing up one's accounts and all that. Yeah. So 1.5, 2 years, one will get the full slap. Brahmaloka, to get that slap, it won't be 1, 2 years. To get that slap will be very long period. So here, if one misbehaves, immediate reaction comes. A person misbehaves with his wife, that evening only the wife goes. After 2 days, the divorce form comes. And then the lawyer talks. The wife will not talk. So the here earthly planet reaction very fast. So one misbehaves, immediate reaction will come. Brahmaloka, in the Swargaloka, the reaction will not come so easily. That's a great danger there. So intoxication is so much. By the time one realizes, it will be finished. No. Yeah, unless okay, how much chance we have that we land up in these heavenly planets? It depends on our aim. If within our heart there are still a lot of material desires remaining, and we want to practice bhakti also, Krishna will send us to heaven. But if our aim is back to Godhead, we don't want material desires. Still, but there is less time one has covered, less progress one has covered. Krishna gives us a hint for devotees. So it depends on the goal. So, like suppose one picked up Krishna consciousness, and after picking up one is going very fast, but according to destiny, very less life is remaining. What can it's whatever age person has picked up, very less time remaining. Then what will happen? If one is serious, Krishna will not give heavenly birth. Immediate human birth. That also devotees family. So it depends on material desires. But one is dragging on for 70, 80 years of Krishna consciousness, still having a lot of material desires, Krishna will send to heaven. So okay, enjoy and come back. But by the time we come back, with less time. very less time of Brahma's day will be remaining. And then you will say, okay, I'm picking up, and then Brahmaji will say, time up, submit the answer sheets. No? Next exam after 432 crore years. Hari Bol. So, just imagine 432 crore years, you know. People don't even, people think dream of getting crore rupees in their bank account, you know. Crore dollars is very difficult, you know. Very few people may get it. You know, crore rupees, okay, you know, but still one has to endeavor, you know. Crore rupees bank account, you know, bank balance. Still one has to endeavor. Take some years like that. So let's go further. So 20, parastasmat tu bhavanyo vyaktavyaktat sanatanaha. And the Lord is explaining, yeah, there is another unmanifest nature which is eternal and is transcendental to this manifested and unmanifested matter. It is supreme and is never annihilated. When all this world is annihilated, that part remains. Krishna's superior spiritual energy is transcendental and eternal. It is beyond all the changes of the material nature, which is manifest and annihilated during the days and nights of Brahma. Krishna's superior energy is completely opposite to the quality of material nature. Superior and inferior nature are explained in the 7th chapter. Next 21 purport. Vyakto akshara iti uta. That which the Vedantis describe as unmanifest and infallible. That which is known as the supreme destination, that place from which, having attained it, one never returns, that is my supreme abode. The supreme abode of the personality of Godhead Krishna is described in the Brahma Samhita as Chintamani Dham, a place where all the desires are fulfilled. The supreme abode of Lord Krishna, known as Goloka Vrindavan, is full of palaces made of touchstone. There are also trees called desire trees that supply any type of eatable upon demand. And there are cows known as Surabhi cows, which supply a limitless supply of milk. In this abode, the Lord is served by hundreds and thousands of goddesses of fortune, Lakshmi, and he's called Govinda, the primal Lord, the cause of all causes. The Lord is accustomed to blow his flute. Venum Panantan. His transcendental form is the most attractive in all the worlds. His eyes are like lotus petals. Aravinda Dalayatakshan. The color of his body is the color of the clouds. He's so attractive that his beauty excels that of thousands of cupids. He wears saffron cloth, a garland around his neck, and a peacock feather in his hair. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna gives only a small hint of his personal abode, Goloka Vrindavan, which is the supermost planet in the spiritual kingdom. A vivid description is given in Brahma Samhita. Vedic literatures, Katha Upanishads state that there is nothing superior to the abode of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and that abode is the ultimate destination. Purushanna param kinchit sakashta paramagatihi. When one attains to it, he never returns to this material. Krishna's supreme abode and Krishna himself are non-different, being of the same quality. On this earth, Vrindavan, 90 miles southeast of Delhi, is a replica of that supreme Goloka Vrindavan located in the spiritual sky. When Krishna descended on the earth, he sported on that particular tract of land known as Vrindavan, comprising of 168 square miles in the district. The transcendental nature of the Supreme Lord is being described. The transcendental nature of the Supreme Lord is being described. So Prabhupada explains that hearing of the transcendental nature of the Supreme Lord, one should be captivated by the description of the spiritual world. And the spiritual world is desire fulfilling. All our aspirations which we can aspire for in the material world are already existing in the spiritual world. And plus extra any aspiration shoots up in the spiritual world. Spiritual world, everything is desired for. The tree, the surabhi, the land, everything is desired. So this goes to show that the Lord's creation is not restrictive. Restriction is put for our benefit. You may say, I want sense gratification, why does not Lord supply? Because you're not demanding sense gratification. In the name of sense gratification, you're demanding poison. Therefore, the Lord gives with very reluctantly. So if the child asks for drugs, the parents are not going to give. If the child wants books for studying, parents will give. They'll say, oh, they will create a whole library for you. No problem. Keep studying. Is it not? So the cosmos, the creation of the Lord is not restricted. Restriction is only put for our benefit. So that we don't harm ourselves further and further. Otherwise, the living entity will go on harming himself further and further. That's the point. So that we don't harm ourselves further. Let's read further. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is greater than all, is attainable by unalloyed devotion. Although he is present in his abode, he is all pervading and everything is situated within him. It is here stated clearly that the supreme destination from which there is no return is the abode of Krishna, the Supreme Person. The Brahma Samhita describes this abode as Ananda Chilmaya Rasa, a place where everything is full of spiritual bliss. All the variegatedness manifest there is of the quality of spiritual bliss. Nothing there is material. That variegatedness is expanded as the spiritual expansion of the Supreme Godhead Himself. The manifestation there is totally of the spiritual energy, as explained in chapter 7. As far as this material world is concerned, although the Lord is always in his supreme abode, he is nonetheless all pervading by his material energy. So by his spiritual and material energies, he is present everywhere, both in the material and the spiritual universes. Yes, Yanta Sthani means that everything is sustained within him, within either his spiritual or material energy. The Lord is all pervading by these two energies. To enter Krishna's supreme abode or the innumerable back of the planets is possible only by devotional service, as clearly indicated by the word Bhakti. No other process can help one attain the supreme abode. The Vedas, Gopal Tapani Upanishad 1.21 also describe the supreme abode and the supreme personality of Godhead. Ekovasi Sarvagaha Krishna. In that abode, there is only one supreme personality of Godhead, whose name is Krishna. He is the supreme merciful deity, and although situated there as one, he has expanded into millions and millions of plenary expansions. The Vedas compare the Lord to a tree standing still, yet bearing many varieties of fruits, flowers, and changing leaves. The plenary expansions of the Lord who preside over the Vaikuntha planets are four-armed, and they are known by varieties of names: Purushottama, Trivikrama, Keshava, Madhava, Aniruddha, Krishikesha, Sankarshana, Pradyumna, Sridhara, Vasudeva, Damodara, Janardana, Narayana, Vamana, Padmanabha, etc. The Brahma Samhita also confirms that although the Lord is always in the supreme abode, Goloka Vrindavan, He's all pervading, so that everything is going on nicely. Goloke vanivasati akhilatma bhuto. I said it in the Vedas. Parasa shakti vividhaya shuyate sabhavaki jnana balakriya cha. His energies are so expansive that, that they systematically conduct everything in the cosmic manifestation without a flaw, although the Supreme Lord is far, far away. Far, far away. So it is said that Krishna is fully cognizant of everything, directly cognizant of everything what is happening in the universe. When we have technology that sitting in one room in the building, we can put CCTV cameras and see live whatever is happening throughout the building. And any place requires some intervention, immediately within 2 minutes one can reach there. No? Immediately one can alarm all guards to reach there within 2 minutes. Drill. No? So when we can do this, what to say of the Supreme Lord? Whose material energy itself is impeccable. You know? The working of material energy is so powerful. Material energy is so powerful. The way she does service, Maya Shakti, she can keep not just one, two, millions of living entities in the material world for eternity. She has that power. So powerfully she does her seva. No. So the Lord is fully cognizant of everything what is happening in the entire universe all the time. And whenever needed, the Lord can intervene. The Lord can intervene. That's why even devotees know this fact, and therefore sometimes devotees they themselves call the Supreme Lord. And the Lord hearing the devotees, they come. Just like this say Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came because of Advaitacharya calling, praying. Advaitacharya calling. So the Lord can intervene at any time. The Lord is directly cognizant of everything which is happening in the entire universe. That means the Lord treats the entire universe as his body. And that is why Bhagavatam is telling that this whole body can be imagined to be, the whole universe can be imagined to be the body of the Lord. Why? Because the Lord is cognizant, fully, directly cognizant of the entire universe as if it is his own body. Like you're immediately cognizant, Like sometimes an ant comes in the ear, suppose, the back of the ear, immediately hand will go there. Hey, what is that? Not like that, so the hand will say, I have just, so, just come immediately because you are cognizant. Whatever little bit is happening, some pain is there somewhere. Immediately one is pain is there, fully cognizant. Like that, the Lord is cognizant of anything what is happening in the universe. Can you imagine how much Krishna loves us? Just try to imagine. Immediately gets to know. Immediately gets to know. He gets to know before the Jiva gets to know. So it is said the Paramatma sitting in the heart is so close that before the living entity himself or herself gets to know his or her own desire, the Paramatma knows it. So before the living entity goes away, his or her own desire, the Paramatma is aware of it. So that's how Krishna is, how much he loves us, And why to? Why to go fluffing around the dirt, the garbage of this material world? Why not frolic in the transcendental cooling waters of Krishna's grace and mercy? So this is 22. Now we read this puppet, right? Hmm? Yeah, 22. We read the puppets. 22. Supreme Lord is attainable by unalloyed devotion. So therefore, the Shastras are saying that, therefore the Shastras appeal. See, here we are understanding that we can try to understand that that why not completely focus, and why to allow dilutions and distractions. When all desires are going to be fulfilled in a very positive way, why not aim for the spiritual world? And why to keep holding on to that shabby, nasty, unhygienic material enjoyments, sense gratification, which is simply going to increase our misery, which is simply going to make us flip flop, manifested, unmanifested, in the spell of Maya. Where we slowly can degrade the living entity, slowly, which can degrade the living. So, that is something what we can learn in this particular section. Let's stop here for today. Do we have any questions? Yes. Yes. Yeah. So this Tivrena Bhakti Yogena is an encouraging verse for a person who is a newcomer. Newcomer may not necessarily mean one who has just come to Krishna consciousness, but newcomer means one who has a lot of material desires. So the Lord is encouraging, don't worry. You want material desires fulfillment, just practice Hare. Just chant Hare Krishna. So it is for a person who is attached to material desires. So one who is not attached, why will he land up going to heaven unless the Lord sends him for preaching? So, but sometimes the person is not very advanced in spiritual life, and the person has a lot of material hankerings, and those are like doubts which are not letting the devotee surrender to Krishna. Because the devotee is always thinking, "Hey, what will happen to my material desires?" Krishna is giving a guarantee. Don't worry. If you want material desires, I'll fulfill them in the best way. But the practice of bhakti, one will be purified. And by that purification, one will be able to see the futility of material desires. Still, if one wants, Krishna will fulfill. You know, like so, Krishna will fulfill the material desires. So, when Krishna fulfills, that is the best. When Krishna fulfills, that is the best. That's the point. Because along with fulfillment, Krishna will arrange purification. And when Krishna gives the supply, nobody terminates it. Nobody terminates it. Like we were reading this the section of spiritual world. Prabhupada is saying that okay, for us to get opulences, we have to work so hard. Then also some people only get it. Not everybody gets it. But Krishna wants to give opulence. Every resident of the spiritual world is traveling in airplanes of lapis lazuli and jewels, and they have such beautiful concerts, and their hearts are also protected and purified. They don't have any sex desire. Yesterday you were reading. So when Krishna wants to supply, then even opulences Krishna can supply very easily. Better depend on Krishna than any other way. Somehow or the other get it, and that also not for long. Krishna wants to give, no termination. No termination. As much as you want. Desire fulfilling. Chintamani, desire fulfilling tree, Surabhi, as much as you want. Yeah. No, so this is the encouragement that Krishna is giving, like that. That opulence, don't worry about opulence, worry about me. So the devotee may himself get purified or herself get purified and may not want it, material desires again. But if one wants, Krishna will supply. So this Akama Sarvakamava is basically addressing the devotees of all cadres, having various levels of material desire. So everyone, it is said, better worship Krishna. You will get what you want and you will get purified also. Suddenly Krishna will fulfill. So Dhruv Maharaj did not go back to Godhead before his desires were fulfilled. You know? Because he had material desires. So Krishna fulfilled it. Now he was saying that, okay, I don't want it now. Krishna said, no problem. You take it now. You know? Because you had wanted it before. So you take it. Yeah, if we drag it on, material desires for long, Krishna may fulfill those before he takes us back. But if you are ready to give it up, Krishna will put us in the spiritual world where anyways all desires will be purified and will be supplied. So like that. So it depends on us whether we want to drag on with material desires or we want to give it up. It's our choice. If we give it up, Krishna will take us to spiritual world. If we drag on, Krishna will send us to Millia boards and all where those desires can be fulfilled. No, not necessarily. Hanumanji was in service, he was searching ladies, he did not get affected. So we can also deal with material energy if we are always taking shelter of Krishna, having very good sadhana and very alert when we are dealing with material energy, very attentive, then it is possible that we will not get affected. We will get affected only when material desires come. The desire comes to enjoy it, you know? Then we will get affected. But if that desire is not there, we are protected. But one has to be very careful and alert in dealing with it. Very careful and alert. Therefore, all maryada should be followed. Huh? Especially honestly avoiding the opposite sex. All maryada should be followed in that regard. Huh? It doesn't matter whether one is a grahastha or a sannyasi or a vanaprastha or a brahmachari. Everyone should honest avoidance of opposite sex. Very important. Very, very careful. Otherwise, we may land up getting intoxicated. Accident. Very careful, alert. Huh? So therefore, the acharyas are given maryada. Huh? Mataji should preach to Matajis, men should preach to men. We follow that, we will be protected. We don't follow that, oh, we need to. It's risky. Similarly, post possession money also. So as soon as money comes, immediately offer it to Krishna. Huh? Be very transparent. Then you'll be protected. So then we'll be protected. Rupa and Sanatana Goswami. The big temple was made, but they never stayed there. No, they never went and stayed there. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, basic facilities is fine. Uh, but luxury is not so fine. It may intoxicate. So, what should be the limit, the balance point of basic and luxury? You know, we'll see. As soon as we step into the territory of luxury, we'll find us our bhakti fervor getting slackened. Like that, like prasad, everybody has to eat. But if one is attached to tasty prasad, yeah, then one is always trying that how tasty prasad can come. So one is endeavoring toward that direction. To that extent, one will not be able to serve properly. So when our service is getting affected, means from we are crossing the boundary of need, going into luxury. See that. Prasad everyone has to take, keep the body going. But if you are attached to it, then you will see it reflects in slackening of same. Okay. Grantha Ashram Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki